Friends, welcome to Our Story is One. I am Sima Ghodrati, your coach for life. This is a continuing of our episodes that we started last week. Last week we talked about how the children are the most precious treasure that the community can possess. Now we want to look at the second part of this beautiful paragraph from the Universal House of Justice. They tell us that the children are a trust no community can neglect with impunity. Let's look at this together as what happens to the child when this beautiful child comes to this world. As you can see in these pictures, they have some feelings like sadness, anger, shame, guilt. But when the children come to this world, their mind is fully blank. And they come to this world to use their external senses like seeing, touching, tasting, hearing, smelling. By using these senses, their thoughts will start developing and their feelings will awaken. So what they see is an interpretation of their beautiful mind of the world, and those feelings that have awakened within their mind, it will give them some sense of this world. But these children have a beautiful heart, as we talked about it last week, and the heart is full of beautiful capacities to become who they are. There's love in their heart, there is compassion, there's understanding, there is loyalty, there is truthfulness. Everything is embedded in that beautiful heart. But what happens to the children when they're very young, and the heart closes its gate, and unfortunately, for whatever is happening in this world, what they're facing, they only have to rely on their mind. So let's look at this through science. We're going to go over some basic neuroscience, that what the neuroscience tells us. Neuroscience talks to us about how, if we can imagine the brain in three parts. The first part, which is called the brainstem or the reptilian brain, we share it with lizard. This part is fully automatic. We have no control of it. For example, like a heartbeat or a body temperature, when we breathe, these things we don't have to think about. Imagine if we're going to think about all these things, and we're going to die in a second, right? So we're not control of that, and everything that it happens automatically, which we share with lizard. Lizard only have that part. And the second part, which we call it midbrain, limbic system, it has the part that it's partly automatic and partly we do have some thinking there. But what else it's embedded in this part, it's all those feelings like anger, fear. So when an adult goes through this fight and flight situation, when there's something happens to an adult, they, without their thinking, but they have the physical ability to either leave or fight or make a sudden decision. But friends, children don't have that. Children don't have that power of thinking and analyzing, or even when there's an automatic part of the brain bypasses the middle part and goes straight to the stem part, which is the reptilian brain, which is for us to survive. Children don't know what to do at that moment because they don't have that ability yet. The brain hasn't been developed fully for them to run away or start fighting. So what happens? The middle part of the brain, the anger awakens, the fear awakens, and because they can't understand the fear, they can't understand those feelings, and that's the only way children can actually connect in this world, through those feelings. So when they keep going from the mid part of the brain to the survival mode, they get stuck in that vicious cycle, which is the brain start making decisions. The brain says, okay, this is normal. So when there's a shot of cortisol or epinephrine comes, when the child is under stress, and the stress that child goes through, it could be just a very sad or angry facial expression of the parents, or could be a very loud noise. And these things will actually frighten the child and puts the child in that survival mode. So, what would the brain do when constantly these hormones are being produced? So the brain thinks that's normal. And what happens at that moment? The child closes the gate of the heart. The heart, it's little by little that closes itself, and then the child only gets stuck in that vicious cycle in the mind. And when this constantly repeating, we will be an adult. We will be frightened of everything in this world. We will be angry at everything in this world, friends. So where are those thoughts and feelings comes? So today we're gonna talk about how we have two kind of thoughts and feelings. The thought and feelings that arises from the mind and the environment, which, like when the child is young, the society and the environment is constantly programming the child. And instead of the child becomes who she is, the power of the heart is there. The heart is pure. The heart is full of love, loyalty, honesty, truthfulness. Everything is within the heart. And if the child is actually experiencing the same thing in the outside world, if the community and the society is encouraging, holding the child, giving love, giving support, embracing the child for who she is, so the child's mind starts making beautiful hormones, which like serotonin, oxytocin, and then the child can actually develop that beautiful power of thinking and finding the true meaning of what life is all about. And there is a straight path from the mind to the heart, which is it's the mind's job to help the child to get to the heart. So the mind, it's beautiful. It's created for this world, so the child can understand who she is and puts those beautiful power within the heart into practice using the power of mind. So, but unfortunately, our thoughts and our feelings are bunch of programs that is being coming from the society that tells us how to live our lives, who should we should become, how to dress up, how to think, how to find the truth, and just constantly seeking the truth in outside world. Friends, I am Sima Ghodrati, your coach for life, and we're going to stop here. Thank you for being with me. And friends, if you like these videos and if it resonates with your beautiful heart, kindly subscribe and share with all your friends. We will see you next week.